Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today, we're breaking down a disturbing and emotional case that takes us inside a police station during the early hours of a devastating family tragedy, examining what unfolded step by step as events rapidly escalated.
And how did she leave?
He picked her up.
Do you know approximately what time this was? Approximate?
I really don't, but I want to say around 10:15, 10:30.
Okay. Now, at some point, was there a request for you to go to the police station?
Yes.
And around what time was that?
11:30, 11:45.
Okay. And did you want to go to the police station at that point?
I had work at 1:30, and we were still in pajamas and random clothes, so we wanted to go change and brush our teeth, and then go to the police station.
And were you able to go change and do the things that you wanted to do?
No.
Were you directed to report to the police station?
Yes.
Also, was there a point in time where you wanted to get anything from your car?
Yeah, like I said, I had work that day, and I needed to get my purse and wallet out of my car and some things for work out of it.
Were you permitted to get things out of your car?
No.
And when you were directed to go to the police station, was your sister there, or was she still with her boyfriend?
She was still at her boyfriend's house.
Okay, so did she meet you there?
Yes, she got dropped off a couple minutes after we got there.
And so, in the Porsche Cayenne vehicle, who was in the vehicle, like traveling to the police station together?
Me, my mom, and my dad.
Okay. And was anyone following you?
Yeah, the detectives in like an unmarked car.
When you arrived at the police station, when you were still in your car, what personal items did you have with you?
I had only my cell phone and my inhaler that I grabbed that morning.
And did you leave anything in the car when you went to the police station?
Yes, I left my inhaler in the car.
Why did you leave the inhaler in your car?
The detectives pulled up behind us and said it would only be like a short time to just meet them in the lobby and leave whatever in the car.
They told you to leave things in the car? Yeah. Now, once you get there, how soon after you does your sister get dropped off?
With less than 10 minutes.
Okay. So once your family is there, where in the police station do you go?
It was like through the front door, and there was like a little sitting area, like the lobby.
She says the woman left around 10:15 to 10:30 a.m., and later the family was told to go to the police station around 11:30 to 11:45. They weren't allowed to change clothes or retrieve personal items, traveling with her parents in their car while detectives followed in an unmarked vehicle, and her sister arrived a few minutes later. Once at the station, they were directed to the lobby, leaving her inhaler behind. Do you think this was a voluntary visit or more controlled from the start?
And do you recall, like, approximately what, I know it was a long time ago, so we're speaking like general approximations, but approximately what time did you get there?
Probably around 12.
Okay. And how long were you guys in the lobby area for?
Over an hour.
And what, if anything, happened at some point when you were in the lobby?
Like I said before, I had work that day at 1:30, and it was about 1:10-ish, and I was getting impatient, so I went up to the receptionist or secretary or whoever, and I was like, how much longer is this going to take? And at that time, my dad started screaming and crying that my uncle's house was on fire, and he got a text from Ben saying that he needed to go to my uncle's.
And is that how your dad found out?
Yes.
And so what did you do at that point?
I walked out the front door of the police station and I called my Uncle Corey.
Why did you call Corey?
Because I wanted him to go to my uncle's house and make sure everyone was okay.
And what, if anything, did you try to do at that point?
I had the car keys to my mom's car and I tried to leave to go to my uncle's house.
And were you permitted to leave?
No, the detectives stopped me.
And why were you trying to leave?
Because no one was answering me. sorry. So I wanted to make sure they're okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Take your time. Ready? So now that you know Kate's house is on fire, what happens next?
I go back into the police station, and they start bringing us like downstairs to the main, I guess, area of the police station. And I was just like panicking. I was telling them my uncle's address, like they had to do something, and they were being very vague and kind of just hinted that they knew already, and it was being taken care of.
Okay. And where did they bring you?
It's like down a couple steps into like the main area of the police station, I guess. It's a bunch of cubicles that I guess the detectives worked at. And then we were seated in like a conference room, I guess. It was a long table with numerous chairs. Me and my sister sat next to each other, and then my dad and mom sat across from us.
Okay. And again, I know it's a long time, so just an approximate, but approximately how long were you in the conference room for?
Let's say over 45 minutes, but I'm not sure. I don't remember.
They arrived at the police station around noon and waited in the lobby for over an hour. Around 1:10 p.m., her dad learned her uncle's house was on fire, and she tried to leave but was stopped by detectives. They were then taken to a conference room with her sister and parents for about 45 minutes. How do you think being confined like this affected them?
What are you doing what are you personally doing while you're in the conference room?
I asked them about their Wi-Fi because there was no cell service down there, and they kind of just, like, I guess not said, but there was no Wi-Fi password, so I somehow got onto their Wi-Fi, and I was Googling my uncle's house and just looking at live updates.
Okay, so you were able to access, like, media and through Google?
Yeah.
And, I'm not sure if I asked you this, but approximately what time is it when you get down to the conference room? Approximately.
Like 1:20.
And so what, if anything, are you learning through the media when you're searching things?
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
The media coverage, what did it regard your uncle's house?
Judge, I object to hearsay.
All about that question, but no further as it relates to what the media is saying.
Yeah, just specific. Just the only question is like, did it regard
Yes.
your uncle's house? And now, at some point, while you're in the conference room, what is the demeanor of your family? How is everyone doing at this point?
All really upset. We're all crying. My dad's like struggling to breathe. He's crying. My mom's hysterical. I'm crying.
And at some point, did they remove you from the conference room?
Yes. They took me into an interrogation room.
Why are you calling it an interrogation room?
That's what they referred to it as, and it was a small room with white walls and a desk and a chair, and then no windows.
When they took you out of the conference room, did they take anyone else out of the conference room?
Yeah, they called me and my mom at the same time, and my sister and my dad were still in the conference room.
And did they put you and your mom together in a room, or did
Went into
they
separate rooms.
separate interrogation rooms?
Mm-hmm.
And so, who's in the room with you at that point?
2 detectives.
And what's happening now?
They started asking me questions, and the first question they asked me was if I knew who was shot outside of my uncle's house.
And what was your response?
I started screaming and crying. Because I obviously knew it was my uncle at that point.
Did they continue to ask you questions?
Yeah.
And when they were asking you questions, how long did this last for?
At least an hour.
And during the time that they're asking you questions, what, if anything, are you asking them?
I keep asking them if my cousins are okay. And no one would give me an answer. I kept asking to leave. And they said as soon as I give my statement.
And was there anything else? Were you under the impression that your cousins were located somewhere?
Yeah, they basically told me that once I gave my statement, they would take me to them. At whatever hospital they were at.
While in the conference room around 1:20 p.m., she used the station's Wi-Fi to check live updates about her uncle's house. Her family was visibly distraught, all crying and panicking. She and her mother were then taken to separate interrogation rooms with 2 detectives, where she was questioned for about an hour. She repeatedly asked about her cousin's safety, but was told she could only leave after giving her statement. How do you think this uncertainty affected her state of mind?
After they asked you some questions, now, did you give a statement in this case, like a typed statement?
When I was in this room, no. But they took me in another room later. And yes, that's when I gave a formal statement.
So the questions that you're referencing now, is that the same as your typed
None of
statement or
those.
different?
Different. Completely different.
So the statement comes later.
Yes.
So now it's just questions. Lasts for about an hour. And at some point, do the detectives leave the room?
Yeah, they left the room.
And what happens after they leave the room?
I was in there for a while, so I had to use the bathroom. So I tried to leave, and the door was locked, so I started banging on the door until someone opened it. And then they kind of were like, well, they escorted me to the bathroom at that point.
And after you went to the bathroom, then what happens next?
They escorted me back into like the main area of the police station with all the cubicles.
And were you with your family? Or
No, we were all separated at this point. I could see into the conference room, and I saw my dad's back. My sister was no longer in the conference room.
At some point, did they take your statement?
Yes.
And do you recall approximately what time they finally took your statement?
I don't.
Would seeing a copy of your statement refresh your recollection as to the time? I have, I marked as D151. I can approach.
Okay.
Do you recognize this? I'll take this one. As a copy of your statement?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have your name on it?
Yes.
And it's looks like 8 pages long.
Yep.
And I think you.
Yeah.
Okay. And does it have a start time and an end time?
Yeah, it starts at 3:40 and then looks like it ends at 5:21.
Approximately 2 hours.
Yeah.
So at around 3:40, they start to take your statement. And after you gave your statement, what, if anything, did you learn at that point?
They finally confirmed that they all died.
And when you say they, who are you referring to?
My aunt, my uncle, and my 2 cousins.
And who confirmed this?
One of the detectives.
After you paid your statement, approximately how much longer were you at the police station for?
5.5 hours.
And for the entire duration, I know you mentioned earlier when you first found out that your uncle's house was on fire, you tried to leave, right? At any other point during the time that you were at the police station, did you make any other attempts to leave?
Yeah, at one point I had a panic attack and I wanted my inhaler, which was in the car, and they wouldn't let me get it. They just brought me outside to breathe fresh air.
Were you asking to leave at all?
Yes, the whole time.
And did they let you leave?
No.
After giving her formal statement, she learned from a detective that her aunt, uncle, and 2 cousins had died. She remained at the police station for several more hours, making repeated attempts to leave, including during a panic attack, but was only briefly allowed outside for fresh air. Thanks for watching. If you found this case compelling, make sure to subscribe for more real courtroom stories and leave your thoughts in the comments below.